Welcome to the Samsung Gear S3 product overview webinar. A few housekeeping items before we start. So unfortunately there's only a one-way audio, so if you have any questions, feel free to use the chat box and we will answer any questions at the end of the session. If there's any technical issues, feel free to post a comment as well. In this webinar, we'll be trying to do something new, which is also a live demonstration. So wish us luck and that we will not have any technical issues on this side. The webinar will be recorded and posted on the Samsung developers website. And we also kind of look forward to hearing from you that what kind of webinars you would like us to organize moving forward. So please respond to a quick survey. It takes 2 minutes to answer that. Let's get started. So my name is Niklas Labeck and I'm joining with David Ing, product manager for the Gear S3. And quick few words about our team. So we are a developer support team based in Mountain View, California, and we support Android and Tizen projects. So for example, all the Samsung Android SDKs, whether you are developing an S Pen application, an Edge panel, or integrating Samsung in-app purchase, you may be working on Samsung Gear, and we're happy to help you with the Tizen wearable SDKs. We have also two editors, a watch face editor and theme editor, primarily for designers. And of course, the content needs to be submitted to the seller store, and we help with any submission-related questions. And of course, very importantly, promoting your application. The best way that you can contact us and get support is to join Samsung Developer Program. It's a program, it's a free to join. And once you have created an account, you can and logged in, you can submit tickets to us, and like technical support request or promotion request. If you have other issues or kind of you want to contact me directly, you can see my email address and phone number on the screen. Here's just an overview of the upcoming webinars. We did a webinar in December with Kavitha regarding a heart rate example app. So if you were not able to join that, you might be interested in checking that video. You can see the YouTube shortcut, a tiny URL on the screen, and that's we walk through a few market slides as well as the example app. I will be, I'm sorry if this is a bit repetition, I will be sharing some of the market size slides also in this webinar. And today we'll be focusing on Samsung Gear S3. This is a product overview for developers. So today we will not cover any application development related topics. It's more or less get you familiar of the product, how consumers are downloading and discovering applications, and the key features and the unique selling points of the product. I would recommend to register to the two very interesting webinars we have, which are scheduled for January 24th, which are the watch face editor. So that's how to use the tool, which requires no coding skills. And also we have another webinar on the same day about watch face development. So for example, if you wanted to create a dynamic watch face showing sports scores or news scores, then that webinar at 1 p.m. Pacific would be very interesting for you. As well as then March 23rd, we'll do a webinar about widget development. So that is then a relevant session for Tizen wearable app developers who can add a widget layout to their projects, increasing which results in a more easier way to consume the content. Kind of two different webinars are scheduled for February 9th. So February 9th, this is we will walk through Samsung in-app purchase. And of course, if you are a game publisher or you monetize your Android content with with monthly subscription or in-app purchases, that's will be a very interesting session for you. And themes, which are a Samsung unique feature on Galaxy phones. We will cover the theme development, the market opportunity on February 23rd. So these sessions are open, and feel free to register. And if you think that there's something missing, we should cover another topic, let us know, propose that content in the survey. All right, let's have a look at the variable market few slides. So on this slide, we'll see that what is the external forecast made by Gartner, what is the shipment volume of smartwatches. So we can see that 2016, 50 million units were expected to be sold, and the forecast for 2017 is 66 million. So the forecast is kind of rough. The year-on-year growth is approximately 33%. I will use that number later in my presentation. Just wanted to point you out that where do we get that growth number? Few key metrics of primarily from the Gear S2, because Gear S3 just started to sell. So if you look at the, I'll provide you the pointer to the external forecast. This is not the Samsung metric that I'm sharing. So the estimated installed base of Tizen Wearable 2.3 end of 2016 is about 3 million units. Primary means Gear S2 because that has been on market more than 12 months. If we assume that Gear S3 would perform the same way as with the market, and we can see a 33% year-on-year growth, this year maybe 4 million units should be sold. So that would mean from developers' perspective that by end of 2017 we would have 3 million and 4 million devices in the market, i.e. 7 million devices. So that's a way to estimate what might be the addressable market by end of 2017. A few words about the consumers, what we know from the Gear S2 users. They were 80% male users in 20s and between 20s and 40s. Obviously, the Gear S3 is even a bigger device, more masculine design. So I think it's pretty obvious that what is the demographic who would be consuming the content. Number of apps, content items, whether it's an app or watch face, is typically 8 applications downloaded within the first months of device ownership. With the Gear S2, it was 80% of the watch faces. And recommended price points for the content for watch faces, kind of $1 and $2, and for the apps, 4 recommended price points. Promotion. So we promote content in the StatPix. So that's the way you can, when you launch Gear Manager, you'll see it will take you to Galaxy App Store. You will see content promoted in the StatPix, and you'll see banners. That content is typically highlighted there 2 to 4 weeks, and we are always looking for new content. Feel free to join the Samsung Developer Program. Send us a promotion request, and we will evaluate that your application. So typically the criteria that we will use is, for example, the brand, kind of usability, number of downloads, kind of how great is the experience in simple terms. And that's the report that I mentioned earlier, the IDC report. This slide shows that at the moment there are approximately 14,000 content items available for Tizen Wearable 2.3, i.e. meaning Gear S2 and Gear S3. Both are running the same platform release. Obviously when you discover the content, you'll see that there's a lot of watch faces available. You can see what content is available. Just download a Gear Manager to your phone. As long as you have an Android phone, you don't need to have a Samsung phone. a Samsung Android phone, and you can discover what's there. And you can press the tab top and see what's popular right now. Some of the examples per different content categories, kind of watch face applications that let you choose different themes, branded themes. Entertainment category, you can stream audio like Spotify or My Music Cloud or NPR One. They are all audio streaming applications. Third-party fitness applications, airline applications, location applications like Uber, Trulia, Yelp. Here, you can control your vehicle, like the BMW application, and use many news applications and watch faces. And then you can control your Nest thermostat or your GoPro camera, as an example. I said that kind of the best way is to discover what's available is to browse the catalog yourself. Here's our content merchandising calendar. Your application may be more relevant for the consumer during a time of the year. For example, you'll see here a banner of Trulia. There may be a peak of season when consumers are doing house hunting. So in that case, kind of it makes sense to promote the application during that time of the year. Maybe you're working something that is a skiing application, so makes sense to promote it in the winter time, or maybe it's something for summer. So you should always contact us and propose your application to be promoted. Obviously, if it's then timely relevant around the certain public holidays, let's say it's Mother's Day and Father's Day, maybe your application helps find a restaurant, or maybe it's something unique for them during that time. Kind of you can see here what is the deadline when the content needs to be certified in the store, and we locally merchandise the content for both the US and Canada. So the best way to make us aware that what you have created is to join SDB and submit a ticket for a promotion. Let us know what great content you have created, and ask us to run a banner promotion for you. I think at this point I would like to turn over to David, and David will walk through a few slides and then do a live demonstration.
All right, sounds good. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Great. So thanks, Nicholas. So my name is David Ng. I'm a product manager here at Samsung, specifically for wearables in the US. And I'm going to walk you through some of the key features of our device portfolio, as well as give you some live demonstrations at the end of this portion. And then we're also going to have some time for Q&A that we've set aside. So if you have any questions, please save them for the end of the presentation. And then Nicholas and myself will be here to obviously help answer those. So let's start off with a little bit of history on Gear. So the evolution of the Gear portfolio. We launched our first Gear device back in October of 2013. That was our Samsung Galaxy Gear. It's come a long way since then. We've had a lot of key learnings and innovations in the space, particularly evolving to Tizen and getting up to version 2.3, which is represented first by the device on the far right. So that is our Gear S2. Comes in a variety of different styles and colors, and is also still selling and very popular today. But yeah, you can just see from those examples, so that's on the far left, that's the Galaxy Gear, moving into the Gear 2, and then the Gear S, and finally Gear S2. A lot of design language innovation that we've put forth in this category to get us where we are. We've a lot of understanding of what customers are looking for in terms of feature sets. So I'll give you a kind of a funny example of that. Like if you notice on the first one we launched, it came with a camera embedded onto it. So this was, again, something brand new to the category. There wasn't really anybody innovating in the space that way, and then we quickly learned that design in the straps was more important than camera. So we went away with that and opted for more traditional band designs, and now all of our devices that we launch are based on standard watch band technologies, so either standard 20 or 22 millimeter watch bands. A little bit of data to share with you to supplement kind of that industry look that Nicolas shared with you. So more than half of our users, and this is information that we gathered from Gear S2. We don't have Gear S3 data yet because it just launched about a month ago. But more than half of the users that came into our family of products with Gear S2 were brand new to the category, which is exciting for us because it means not only is Samsung growing our share of the market in the smartwatch space, but we're actually inviting and exciting new users to come and experience our products. So we also have the rest of the balance is made up of people who are switching from other categories. So about 1 in 3 people who buy Gear are coming from another competitor device in this space, and then about 1/6 of our users are upgrading from one of the previous devices that you see pictured there. So also from that research, which I think is really important to share, is that the #1 reason people choose Samsung in the smartwatch category is our design. So you know, obviously this is something that Samsung is very important to us as a company, but particularly in this space, you know, coming from a rich heritage of watches and competing with those Swiss manufacturers and traditional watchmakers that have over 200 years in the industry, it's important to be competitive there. So that was the #1 reason people bought us. The second, which is a very popular piece of our portfolio, is for the 3G and 4G connectivity. So across all of our Tizen 2.3 devices, we offer a version that is connected with the carriers. So in the U.S., those carriers are AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. And so what that means is they have specific models that work on their networks completely independent of the phone. So this is some features that we can get into in more detail in the later webinars. But basically what that means is that you can create an experience for your users. We call it standalone, and that means that you can take the watch. Let's say some popular examples that we find with our users is you might be going for a jog, and you want to still have with you your music and ability to make a payment, maybe purchase a Gatorade at the end, have all your data, get all your incoming calls and messages. That's the unique value proposition that Samsung offers with their watches that nobody else is doing in this space. So that has been an extremely popular couple of models within the portfolio. And the last thing I'll mention is just ease of use and communication. So obviously we have a lot of innovation in the space of communication from our smartphone business, and we've applied a lot of those key learnings to our devices. We're actually on LTE networks with HD calling now on our latest set of devices. And the other piece of that ease of use speaks directly to the customized Tizen operating system and user interface that we put together. So, you know, again, pulling it into the smartwatch competitive landscape, we're the only device that offers interactive bezel functionality, right? So there are devices out there that look like real watches and are round, but with ours, actually the bezel serves a function, and we actually encourage our development community to take advantage of those APIs and make their application experiences consistent with the UI. Next slide. All right, so but what we'll mostly talk about here today is the brand new device that we launched. It's the Gear S3. It's coming in 2 design flavors, the Frontier and Classic. The Classic comes in a Bluetooth variant. What we say by that is that it operates primarily as a companion to your smartphone. And then the other device, the other flavor is the Frontier. This is our hero model. This one is available both as a companion Bluetooth device and with that standalone LTE connectivity that I mentioned. So the next couple of slides will go into the details of those devices. So, you know, what is really unique about these, and what are we really bringing to the marketplace with the Gear S3? So #1 is that design that we talked about, and we actually worked with Swiss watch manufacturers to make sure we were getting everything lined up and on point with this latest watch. The next is that standalone connectivity, and I'll explain some of those features with you. Everyday ready, which basically means that we're ready for the elements that you can throw at these watches, and really speaks to the strong durability that we've updated with the Gear S3. And then finally, something that's unique and really special for us is the Samsung Pay solution. So with Samsung Pay, the unique differentiator there is that it's usable at over 90% of retail terminals in the U.S. Through a technology that we've purchased and acquired through magnetic stripe technology, which is something in addition to NFC. We also offer NFC as part of that, but that has been a really exciting feature that our customers have gravitated to. Next slide. So some of the key elements of the design. First is our always-on watch face. So what that means is that even when your watch is not being interacted with and it's just on your wrist as a timepiece, it'll look like a real watch. So if you're at the dinner table, somebody's sitting across from you, they don't just see a blank screen there. They have that real always-on watch face, and we've optimized it so that it dims it just enough where it's not going to have too negative of an impact on your battery life. And we've also given that always-on feature all of the details and the 16 million colors available to Super AMOLED screen technology, even in the dimmer always-on state. So it looks very real and hardly distinguishable from a real watch all the time. As a result of that, one of our most popular things that people download from the store is our watch faces. So we come preloaded with the set. We have the ability to add more watch faces either directly from the watch and also from our store, and I'll show you some demos of what that looks like. But these continue to be an area of great success for us, a space where our developers have been really successful in differentiating, something that customers like because it really helps them personalize the watch to what the information that they want to see and then the colors that they have. And also straps. So this is something that we've learned over time with our portfolio, but we need to be offering, and we are offering, standard straps for our customers. So this means that you can go into the marketplace, you can Google it, go on Amazon, you'll literally find thousands of different straps to be compatible with the Gear S3 and our Gear S2. So for Gear S3, it's 22 millimeter standard, because it's a little bigger watch face. It's a 46 millimeter casing. And then with our Gear S2, it's a 20 millimeter watch band that's compatible with our watch faces in the 40 to 42 millimeter range. Next slide. So a little bit of information on the collaboration that we had with Swiss designer Ivan Arpa. So Ivan Arpa is a designer. He also owns his own business and has his own brand of watches. And he's gone into a partnership with us to make sure that the elements of the watch are consistent and heralding back to the kind of the design language and traditional aspects of 200 years of watchmaking history in Switzerland. So some of the areas where he was of particular influence was into we call them the lugs. So if you take a look at like the spots where the band connects to the casing, which is where the watch face is, those lugs are designed specifically by him to have a consistent look and feel with other luxury watch faces. He was also involved in the decision in terms of the diameter of the device, so we call that casing diameter of 46 millimeters, which is really on trend right now. And then little details that he played a big part in, like the indices. So this is the Frontier pictured here, but we also have different details that are on the classic model. But you'll notice that there's indices that you'd find on a traditional chronograph etched into both the bezel and the inner bezel. And there's a slightly different treatment on the classic that speak more to a more, well, it's a more classic design. So this one is really meant to be more outdoors, more aspirational, athletic, and kind of adventure. And then the other device is more classic, more of a date piece, more of a dress watch that you wear in the office or out in a nice evening event. Next. So key to the success of Gear S3 was the success of Gear S2, and one of the pieces that we got the most excitement around and won the most acclaim for from the media and from our customers is the user experience. So this is really kind of at the core of what Tizen really is. So being able to use the bezel in a way that's meaningful and provides better functionality versus our competitor smartwatches who are stuck mostly to a touch environment. And it's really important because, we look at kind of the mobile computing space and the evolution that got us here to smartwatches, and you look at a traditional PC, you're going to spend a lot of time researching on it. You might spend hours even if you're planning a vacation doing those kind of activities. You look at a tablet or even a smartphone, you're going to spend minutes browsing on there. You're swiping and you want to get stuff done really quickly. But when you get down to a form factor and a screen size that's as small as we are into the smartwatches, you really just have seconds. You want to be able to get that information, relevant contextual information, as quick as possible. So in order to do that, it was important that we developed a user experience like the rotating bezel. So just to give you some examples of what we do, I'll give you some more of these in our live demonstration, but let's say you have an incoming call that comes in. All you have to do is rotate the bezel to the left or the right to accept or reject that call. Some other popular features that works with is for dismissing alarms, timers, and schedules, hitting that snooze button. It's also usable to get around between our widgets and also to get all of your notifications easily by rotating the other direction. So we'll spend a little more time on this on the live demonstration, but just wanted to point that out that was kind of the key experience with the Gear Tizen watches. Next slide. So standalone connectivity, we talked a little bit already about that LTE support with our carrier partners here in the U.S., which is a key differentiator for the Samsung Gear watches. Another thing that was an important update with the Gear S3 was the built-in speaker. So all of our devices now have the ability to answer phone calls, to get audio playback on the devices, whether it be music or whether it be news, even on the ones that aren't the carrier-connected models. So even the ones that act in Bluetooth companion mode have that Bluetooth speaker. So there's a lot of other elements of connectivity, that standalone connectivity, which I'll go through on the next slide. So with the Gear S3, we've enabled features like altimeter, barometric pressure sensing, speedometer capability delivered through GPS and accelerometer data, and then even emergency services like SOS. So we have some baseline emergency services that we offer to our customers as part of the package, and then we have some third-party development that's happening in this space as well as in the smartphone space. So these are all really great sensor technologies that can be used in the fitness space, can be used in the entertainment, outdoor space, and then they also add to that standalone capability because they don't require an internet connection to activate. So those are really exciting new features for the Gear S3. Other things is the ability to host standalone music. So there's a couple of ways that we activate that. We have 4 gigs of storage on the device for anybody out there who's in the music streaming or serving space. So you can actually copy MP3s and a number of other supported formats onto the device. We also offer streaming capability over our LTE networks and Wi-Fi. One popular streaming service that's out there, Spotify, they've actually just activated standalone music capability over LTE and 3G so that you can take your music with you on your go and leave your phone at home. And of course, all of these I think really work well with health and fitness. So we're constantly innovating the health and fitness space on both our smartwatches and our fitness bands to include, we just updated to include activity tracking like Pilates and yoga, as well as CrossFit is now a supportive algorithm activity just as part of the base set of things that we track. And of course, those are always customizable too. So I think health and fitness is one of the most popular spaces in downloaded apps for wearable devices. And a lot of that just comes from the heritage of smartwatches and that a lot of people's first experiences with smartwatches were on a fitness band. So you're going to see that, you see that as a constant theme within the category, is this idea of health and fitness being a main benefit. Next. All right, so next feature, Everyday Ready. So both our Gear S2 and our Gear S3 devices are water resistant IP68. So what that means is that you can put them in water for up to 30 minutes, up to 5 feet deep, and it's really meant to communicate durability and the assurance that your device will get through accidents or showers or the occasional interaction with water. And then something that's brand new for the Gear S3 specifically is the military level durability. So we've worked with the military standard. It's MIL, I believe it's 810G, but there's a huge list of things that tests for, but some of the more exciting ones is high and low temperature. So that means that you can take this on a mountain with you climbing and take advantage of the altimeter. You can also take it to really hot places and put it in the sand. It's dust shock and vibration resistant. So not only does it look like a really tough watch, but it actually is a really tough watch. Next. Some other things that add to that durability is the Corning Gorilla Glass. So this is actually the first and currently the only wearable device that uses Corning's brand new glass, the Glass SR Plus, which is scratch-resistant technology. So this again, it offers levels of scratch resistance that are even greater than traditional sapphire crystal, so that you can have that confidence that you can take it off-roading and out into the wild, and it'll still be looking new a year from now. Other things that keep you ready for the day is just having a battery that lasts. So we've been able to get our battery life up to 3 to 4 days on the Gear S3 devices, which is industry leading for the smartwatch category. We also offer things like power saving and watch only mode. So even as you get down to 15%, you can get down to power saving mode, and that'll let you squeeze an extra hour's worth of usage out of the device by turning off some non-critical features. And then watch only mode, when you get down to 5%, it'll actually give you a full 10 hours of just having the watch available to you. Because, you know, first and foremost, the number one use case for smartwatches is telling the time. So we want to make sure that our customers have that ability. Next. Okay, and then the last feature that I'm going to talk about for the Gear S3 is Samsung Pay. So incredibly simple feature. I'll show you an example of how this works during our live demo session. But super simple. All you have to do is hold down the button, then hold it up next to a terminal, wait a couple seconds, and then what it does is it actually simulates that magnetic stripe that you would have in a credit card, and allows you to make the payment again at almost any terminal. 90+% of terminals in the U.S. are compatible with this technology. It's also very safe and secure. So we have our Samsung Knox container that's protecting the tokens and valuable credit card information on the devices, and that's also protected by a 4-digit PIN number that you have to enter once when you first put on the watch, and then if you take off the watch, then you have to put it on again. So this protects against loss or theft, making sure that that credit card is not usable by somebody who's not you. Okay, next. So just to wrap things up, this is our portfolio of products. The devices that we have available for the Tizen Wearable 2.3 platform are the Gear S2, the S2 Classic, and then the two that we talked more about today, which is the S3 Frontier and Classic. These offer a variety of different styles and color, from 40 millimeters to 42 to 46. They come in different colors like rose gold and platinum, in matte black and white, and then they all have the interchangeable bands too, so that you can customize it to your needs. So just a wide variety of different styles for the watch face. And also something just to note, we also have the Gear Fit 2, which does offer watch design capability. So what we do is we have a watch face editor that you can make for the Gear Fit 2, and it's a nice way to complement your story if you're interested in creating watch faces on the Tizen Wearable 2.3 platform. Next. All right, so getting to some of the media reviews, this is kind of a 2016 year in review for the category. So getting some great heralds from popular publications in tech industry like ZDNet and Gadget Digital Trends, winning awards from other publications like Tech Radar and Mashable. And it's really, we've gotten a lot of credit, and we're very humble to accept a lot of the good praise that the community has given us out there for our watch. So to give you some of the details behind those wonderful comments that we're getting, again, real watch design is something that we consistently see come up. Rotating bezel UX, a lot of the stuff that we already talked about, like long battery life, Samsung Pay, and LTE capability. Also that standalone GPS. These are really the features that are resonating with both our customers and with the journalism community, tech journalism community. And one thing that's not in this slide, because we actually just announced it this weekend, but I'd say that there was very few negative comments about our devices, but the one that came up consistently was lack of compatibility with iOS, right? And that was a big one for us because it really meant that we weren't addressing about half of all the smartphones in the world, particularly in the U.S. So we were very, very excited to announce this Saturday at CES that we are compatible with all of our Gear S2 and Gear S3 devices and the Fit 2 devices with iOS. So that's something that's brand new. Again, it's just been launched as of a couple days ago. But what that means to you as developers is that you can truly access the compatibility of all smartphones out there in the marketplace, and we expect this to considerably help us to grow the business here at Samsung in smartwatches. Next. So where can you expect our products to show up? So we're on shelves at all the popular retailers that you see listed on this slide, and a bunch more that didn't make it. But you know, some of the more expected places you'd expect to find smartwatches like Best Buy, Amazon.com, Walmart, and Target. Of course, Samsung has a rich partnership and relationship with our carriers, so you can find them in T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, and Sprint stores as well. And then some places where you wouldn't expect to see smartwatches, but these are brand new channels that we've just opened in the last 12 months for our category, and that's we're distributed at Macy's, both in-store and online, also at Dick's Sporting Goods, and then even getting into luxury watch dealers like Tornell. We've actually just recently opened up with them. So I guess the point of sharing this is that just a lot of different places you're able to find the Gear Watch, a lot of different channels. All right, great. So with that, we're going to move to the live product demonstration portion of this. So bear with us, as hopefully we don't have any technical issues. This is our first time trying this live. But basically, I'm going to take you through device features. We're going to go on the device itself with the Gear S3 that I have here. We're going to go through the Gear Manager, and then also want to share with you some opportunities for app marketing.
Hello, this is David Jung from Samsung Wearables Product Management Team, and I'll be walking you through some demos of Gear S3. We're going to go over device features first, and the first feature that we're going to go over is the rotating bezel. On Samsung Gear S3, we can navigate through your menus and options by rotating the bezel, like so. You can get back to the home screen by pressing the power button. To get to the apps tray, you'll press home button or power button once, and you can use your rotating bezel again to navigate through the apps that are pre-installed on Gear S3, and as well as the apps that you'll download through Galaxy App Store. Next, we're going to go over widgets. Widgets are information that is more easily accessible rather than going through the apps. And in here you can view information such as the weather, or add context, or create reminders. Today we're going to add a world clock. You can select by add widget, and scrolling all the way to the right. By selecting the world clock, and you'll be able to add city. We're going to add Seoul, Korea. Like so. And you'll be able to see the time in Seoul. And you can also long press the widget that you just added and drag to the place where you would like for you to easily access. That way you can get from home screen, rotate right, and you'll be able to see the little clock. Next, we're going to go over watch faces. This is the default watch face that comes with the Gear S3. You can long press the watch face and select from many of the pre-installed watch faces. Let's change to this one. And with this particular watch, you can actually stylize. So long press the watch face, select stylize, and you can change the colors and the times that are displayed. We're going to select this one, and this would be your watch face going forward. Next, we're going to get to the notifications. You can view your notifications by scrolling to the left, and this is the SMS that I received from one of my test numbers. You'll be able to select and reply with either predetermined text, or you can input your own message. You can write such as hello, and you'll be able to respond right from the notifications. Okay, we're going to go back to the home screen. Next, we're going to review the Gear Manager. Gear Manager is the application that links your phone and your Gear device, called Samsung Gear. Most of the Samsung smartphone, it is pre-installed, or you can download it from the Google apps, Google Play Store or Galaxy apps. In here you can view information such as your remaining battery or storage, and you can also access S-Health and the Galaxy App Store for downloading watch faces and apps that are specific to Gear S3. Today we're going to download a watch face. You can do that by accessing the Galaxy App Store, going to the watch faces, say this, select art, free, and here are some of the free watch faces that you can download. Eric Levy is one of our featured watch faces. You'll be able to download the watch faces in this way. This is going to take a while, and I have downloaded some of the other Eric Levy watch faces, and you'll be able to see that on the watch once it's done downloading, and you can select so to change the watch face. Next, we're going to review downloading applications from the Gear Manager. We're going to download the Spotify app. So you'll be accessing the Gear Manager, going to the Galaxy apps, and we're going to download Spotify. Okay, as you can see, I have downloaded this Spotify already, and you'll be able to access that from the apps tray, or you can add the Spotify widget from the Add Widget menu, like so. Okay, that is all for today. Please contact us if you have any more questions. Thank you.
On this slide, we are sharing the device specifications. You can get the kind of all the details are here, and let's talk about the next step. So we have the past webinars recorded on samsungdevelopers.com. So you can find the previous presentation about the Gear S3 app development with the heart rate example walkthrough of the heart rate example app. This presentation will be shared there. The slides will be available as a PDF. If you're already working or planning to work on a Gear S3 project, so one step is to register to the seller office, and then if you plan to publish paid content, you need to do some paperwork to get yourself upgraded to a commercial seller status. And the best way we can help you, if you have any questions regarding our documentation, APIs, anything that you may face during the development project, kind of register to SDB and then submit a ticket. And And when you have done your application development project, it's live in the store, then you can reach back to us and ask for a promotion request. As mentioned earlier, we have two interesting Samsung Gear watch face development webinars scheduled. One is to cover the watch face editor, which is a very interesting tool for those who have no development skills, and you can design a good-looking watch faces. And then we also cover the same day, January 4th, the watch face development for Dyson developers. And we have opened a survey. It would be great if you could let us know that how did you do, and so that we can learn and improve these webinars. And let us know if there are what are the topics that you would like to see us to cover moving forward. I think now we have time for questions and answers. There are some questions about when will Verizon start offering Gear S3 Frontier. I do not know that question, so we need to ask that question from David, and for some reason we lost David in this webinar. And then there's a question if there's some developer devices, and at the moment we don't have anything announced, so unfortunately we don't have an answer to that question. Then there's a question, can we just use a Gear S3 emulator to test our app and publish to Marketplace? The answer is yes.
Yes, so most of the features are supported in Gear S3 emulator. So if the emulator supports all the features you have developed in your application, then emulator should be good enough to test your application.
Do we have any other questions?
I think David is back.
David, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. So we lost you. We had a technical issue. We lost the audio partially during the presentation, the live demonstration. There is a question about when will Verizon start offering Gear S3 Frontier with LTE? Would you know?
Good question. So we don't have any public information available on that yet, but what we can say is that Verizon is committed to launching that device very soon. I would expect that you'll hear some announcement from them in Q1 of this year. But they've been a strong partner with us in the Gear S2 and Gear S categories, all through the product life cycle. So just taking a little bit longer to get their network ready.
Fantastic. Well, I think it's time for us to thank you, the audience, the SDP members who had joined the conference, and I think we have one question. Do we have?
No, we see a couple of more technical questions on the comments. We will contact you after this webinar.
Okay, so it's time for us to thank SDP members for joining this webinar. Hope you find it useful, and thank you, David, for joining this webinar with us.
Thank you, Nicholas.